Just me and my little mic. I promised you this video in the last episode of Limitlessly Digital, where I talked about writing for one person instead of writing for everybody. And in the middle of that conversation, I mentioned something that I believe deserves its own video, and that's why we're here now. And that is of the question of whether you should lead your content with pain points or transformations in your marketing, on our sales pages, in our emails, on our socials. And I want to start by saying something that may or may not surprise you, but both answers are wrong. The debate around this assumes you have to pick a side, and you don't. There's a third thing, and that's what I'm talking about today. And what it's missing changes everything about how you approach every piece of content that you create. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to introduce you to a framework from 1966 that is more relevant to your content strategy right now than anything that's been published in the last 5 years. Once you understand it, the pain point versus transformation debate resolves itself completely. We'll get there. But if we've not met before, my name is Claire, and I've been helping women over the age of 40 become known and grow their businesses for the last 18 years. And before we go any further, I would really appreciate it if you could press the heart button below. It helps my content get seen by more people. And if you're feeling really generous, hit the subscribe button too. So first, let's talk about what I actually mean by pain point and transformation. Pain points get a bad reputation that they don't entirely deserve. When marketers talk about pain points, they don't mean prodding people's wounds for sport. They mean the specific language of struggle, the words someone uses in the middle of the night when something isn't working and they can't sleep, the sentence they type into the search bar of Google when they're frustrated, the thing they say to their friend over coffee that starts with, "I just don't understand why I can't." That specificity is what makes pain point-led content land. Not the pain itself, it's the recognition. When someone reads a piece of content and thinks, how does she know that's exactly what I'm going through? That's a pain point working correctly. It's meeting someone where they actually are rather than where you want them to be. It says, I see you, you're not imagining it, come on in. The discomfort most of us feel around pain point-led content comes from doing it badly, poking that same bruise over and over, building an entire content strategy around struggle with no sense of direction or hope. And there's a difference between naming someone's pain and camping out in it. Transformation gets used a lot in coaching in the marketing world. Like most words that get used a lot, it's lost some of its edges. So let's be specific. There's a version of transformation-led content that's really just wishful thinking with good branding, and that's not what I'm talking about. It's a felt shift. The difference between get more clients and stop dreading Monday morning because you finally have a full diary. That difference between increase your visibility and walk into a room knowing that people already trust you before you've said a word. That specificity is everything. Vagueness creates mild interest from your audience, whereas specificity creates the genuine desire. The people who respond most strongly to transformation-led content are the ones who already know that they have a problem and are actively looking for a way through it. They don't need convincing. They don't need convincing that something is wrong. They need to believe that something better is possible out there for them, and they need the person to show them how to get there. This is where transformation-led content earns its place. It's not instead of pain points, but most content advice skips over that. Something that sits uncomfortable for a lot of women I work with around all of this is there's a genuine feeling that leading with pain in your content is somehow taking advantage, that you're finding someone at a vulnerable moment and using their vulnerability to sell to them. And I get it. It comes from genuinely caring about the people you serve. Ignoring someone's pain in your content doesn't protect them from it. It just means that they don't feel seen by you. They feel seen by someone else instead, possibly someone who doesn't have integrity, your experience, or your genuine desire to help them. The most honest thing you can do in your content is describe the problem so accurately, so specifically, that the right person reads it and thinks, she gets it. She knows what this feels like. And if she knows what it feels like, maybe she knows how to help. You can lead with genuine understanding and still have something to sell. One doesn't cancel out the other. So I want to come back to where transformation sits in all of this as well. Before that, there's something I mentioned at the start that reframes the whole conversation, and I think it could be the most useful thing in this episode. In 1966, a copywriter called Eugene Schwartz published a book called Breakthrough Advertising. It's arguably the most influential copywriting text ever written, and it's been sitting behind some of the most effective marketing you've ever seen. Schwartz identified 5 stages of customer awareness. Understanding these 5 stages is what makes the pain point versus transformation question answer itself. And so these might sound familiar to you. I'm sure you're aware of them. The 5 stages are unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. Unaware means your ideal client doesn't yet know that they've got a problem. Problem aware means that they know something isn't working, but they don't know how to fix it. Solution aware means they know solutions exist, but they haven't found the right one. Product aware means they know about you specifically, but they haven't committed yet. And most aware means that they're ready and they just need that little nudge. Pain point led content is for people who are unaware or problem aware. They need the recognition first. They need to feel seen before they can be moved. Lead with transformation for someone who is still sitting in the problem and you lose them. The gap between where they are and where you're pointing to, it feels too wide for them to cross. Transformation-led content is for people who are solution aware, product aware, and most aware. They already know that they have a problem. They already know change is possible. What they need now is to believe that your specific approach is the one that's going to work for them. The question was never pain points or transformation. The question was always, where is this person right now? Let's put this into practice. Same topic, 3 completely different pieces of content. Take content strategy. A piece aimed at someone who is unaware might open like, you've been posting consistently for 6 months and you're not sure it's doing anything. No mention of solutions, just recognition of where they are. That same topic aimed at someone who is solution aware might open like this. You know you need a content strategy, you've tried batch creating, you've tried showing up daily, and nothing has stuck long enough to see results. Here's what's going on. For someone most aware, already in your world, already trusting you, here's the exact process I use every morning to plan a week of content in 40 minutes. Same topic, 3 stages, 3 completely different ways in. Now, go back through your last 5 pieces of content and ask yourself honestly, who was I writing this for? And where were they in their awareness when I wrote it? If you've been writing for transformation-led content for an audience that's mostly still in the problem, that's why it hasn't landed. If you've been leading with pain for people who already know that they need help and are actively looking for you, that's why they've scrolled past. The content isn't wrong, it's just the timing's slightly out. Pain points and transformations aren't competing strategies. They're different tools for different moments in your audience's journey. So before you write your next piece of content, ask yourself one question. Where is this person right now? Not where you want them to be, not where your offer takes them. Where are they sitting today in this moment when they pick up their phone and start scrolling? Because that's where they're going to be finding you. Start there, right to that. Eugene Schwartz worked this out in 1966. It's still true. It will still be true in another 60 years because people and their behaviors have not changed. They need to feel seen before they can be moved. If this has resonated with you today, please share it with somebody who's been wrestling with the same questions, someone who might find it useful, and tell me in the comments, which do you default to, pain points or transformations? I'll see you in the next video. Bye.